Welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic. Random oddball haul. Since, I was putting things away and I'm like, oh crap, I need to put them in, make a haul out of them. But I kind of ran out of spot because I put Christmas presents there, so you'll have an itty bitty teeny weeny haul. Now, depending on when that particular video comes up, I'm not even sure where. Here we are. Oh yeah. The complaint about their pricing, I did go back and complain. I feel like I'm talking down to you about, at least post the prices, and they're like, they always come up with a stupid excuse, and it's like, I think they hate it when I call them out. It's like, how many people are stupid enough to just let it go? And then she did overcharge me for one of the things, but it was like $2. It would have been $1, but it's like, fine. It's like, I love thrift shopping. It's in my price range. But the stupids they hire, you just want to bitch slap every single one of them. And it's like, the higher up the rank they go, the dumber they get. Pretty soon I will be naming names. So, getting, that thing, I went back the next day because you seem to think that the light goes off. If there's a light in your car, mine was the tire, it'll go off instantaneously. And I'm like, no, it'll go all the way up to Walmart and then finally, go off. Because it takes that long to heat up the tire. So I'm like, okay, excuse to go to Walmart via the will. But it was a perfect timing of this things. Because, yes, I make presents for animals. I used to make toys for you, but you have so many toys now, you don't even use them all. So I figured, well, Mother's dog, Bella, should have a present, and I know Mother would be all thrilled. So I wanted to make a doggy blanket. Mostly just to test to see if my workspace kind of works out. It sort of does, but I need something underneath the sewing machine, because every time I kept sewing, it kept getting farther and farther away from me. And I can't quite push in my seat much. So, this is what I came up with. I went to the will, and at least this was half price, so it was like $3. The blanket, and it was a normal sized felt blanket. So unfold it this way and then unfold it this way, so it's a normal bed-sized blanket. So instead of stuffing it with felt, that plastic stuff that makes things puffy. What you put inside a quilt? I'm sure there's a technical term. I just folded it in half and then folded it in half again to make just the right size. It was perfect. And she was a Chihuahua, so it's like, this would be a very large blankie. So I went to Walmart because I wasn't sure if I had enough of this particular cloth, but I did manage to actually have enough, so I have a Batman as long as a Wonder Woman cloth, because she's a black Chihuahua that looks like a bat, so I went with the Batman theme. So, and I think it's the first time I used my yellow thread, and I got to play with the stitches, because this particular sewing machine has, I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see any of this, but different types of stitches. So I picked the yellow that kind of looks like the bat ears, and then I'm pretty damn sure you won't be able to see that. So I'm like, well, how the hell do I quilt the back to make it look nice? Because because if you quilt over stuff, you see it on the back. So I just quilted around the squares again with little hearts, with like the heart stitch. I have no idea what you're seeing, but trust me, there's hearts. Ding! Right there. So that is my Christmas present to the dog, which cost me all of what? $3, $4, maybe $5. But it took me a good chunk of the day to do. We got back around 2, 3 o'clock, and I ended at like 11, so that was an all-day project. I can feel my legs now. Okay. And this next thing I got kind of goes in hand with this. I don't know if I showed you this, but this I got on Amazon, and it's the perfect size. It's exactly like my old incense burner, but you put the incense on top and everything's kind of out in the open, so I wanted, a cover where I'm less likely to go fling. So this does work, which is awesome. But people were kind of complaining, well, my stuff doesn't light. Da, 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 da. Well, you know, it goes all the way down here. So you're sticking your incense here, it's not getting the air. So to kind of lift up the incense, I originally put salt in, but the salt kind of burnt, which doesn't matter to me, you just scoop it out and boop. So I'm like, okay, I came across this, and it's just sort of that sand that you make sand art out of, and this was a buck, and I'm like, well, it didn't quite look like sand. What I could use is like beach sand. We're in the middle of New England, where the hell is there a beach? So I stuck that in here instead, but it does exactly the same thing as the salt does. Go back in there, do your spot back in that. So I'm pretty much figuring this is just boring ass salt that's been colored. So yeah, and it doesn't quite tell you what it's made out of. It's called sand, but it looks exactly like salt and it burns like salt. It doesn't smell like anything though. It doesn't smell like salt, and I'm sure I'm not gonna taste it. It just smells like plastic. So I'll use this instead of wasting my salt. So I figured, and the cap's a pain in the ass, when I found this, I will put my salt sand in here and find a use for that. And it's an actual little bottle too, so that works out pretty awesome. And I just loved how it said magic potion on it. Ugh, that sticker schmutz. And this is called Royal Norfolk, and this was only $1. But I don't... Was this $1 original? I don't know. It kind of looks like Dollar Tree stuff, but if I saw this at the Dollar Tree, I would have bought 15 of them. But there's also stuff that's like similar in Michael's too, which is a lot more than $1. So if this was in the Dollar Tree, it sure as hell wasn't anywhere near mine. But I paid for $1 for it anyways. But I've seen a lot of these at Michael's, and they were like $10 or some, you know, crazy ass amount I wasn't gonna pay. So my sand is gonna go in my magic potion dooflicky, and I'll use it for my incense. And the last thing I found, again, randomly going down the aisle, and just there it is, was a cool t-shirt. And this is what she charged me the $2 for. But this stupid sense. And the rant. And of course, it's so me. This time it actually included the intestines. And I kind of like the fact that you got like that chain and lock necklace and a bit of zombiness. Because it goes, creepy cadavers on the back. So, it's just Fruit of the Loom. Nothing particularly fascinating other than it's just so me. And of course the creepy cadavers came back too. Could just say zombie. So that was nifty. Well, that worked. Okay. I didn't even look at the thing. It looked medium, so it'll fit happily. You can almost hear it squish. And sadly, we were supposed to go thrifting again, like we did with the savers and stuff, but everything sort of happened, so we have to reschedule. Maybe I'll get the rest of my reading done. Do you like absorb words through your butt? I don't know. So that is my uber sexy wonderful itty bitty random haul. Now I can kind of put things where I want them now and not have to worry about forgetting them in another haul. Well, thank you for watching. Do remember to comment, rate, share, and subscribe. There's always room for one more at the Strange and Exotic. See you next time. Bye.